I want to share with you all the story of how Candace and I found our first place. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story.
December 3rd, 2016. Hunter told me he was taking me to the finest restaurant in town. And I gotta say, the view was unbelievable.
Not too shabby.
The whole dinner, Hunter kept getting up to use the bathroom about 4 or 5 times. Little did I know, he was planning to propose to me. He was lucky I was pretty distracted with dessert and the view that I had.
There's the Disneyland fireworks. That is so pretty.
Hunter had an elaborate plan and had our good friend Rico in on it. He took me out to the patio, and as we were looking out, Rico is secretly filming us. While we were standing there, Hunter told me that his father had proposed to his mother at this very same restaurant. He had told me to close my eyes and that he would be right back.
It's been a long journey. It's been more than 6 years we've been dating. And plus that, with our friendship, I think this is long overdue. I promise to be the best that I can be. Hope that I'm worthy to be your husband. And that we can spend all this time and all eternity together. Will you marry me, Ken? She said yes! Like a glove.
Thank you. I love you.
1, 2, 3.
After getting engaged to my best friend, you could say I was the happiest girl in the world. And I couldn't wait to have Hunter as my husband.
We're engaged. Nothing much to say.
Boom, baby.
After proposing to Candace, we decided to look for a small, affordable place for us to live in for the first couple years of our marriage. We didn't have a lot of money, and we didn't realize how expensive it would be to live in Orange County, California. Candace and I were very determined to be self-reliant and not so dependent on our parents, so we prayerfully thought of the best option for us as a young married couple. After many prayerful days and weeks, a thought came into my head to stop by an elderly woman named Carolyn, who I met at church, and I had this bold idea to ask her if we would be able to rent a room in her house. My brothers and I would visit Carolyn every Sunday. We would give her the sacrament, the bread and water that represent the body and blood of Jesus Christ. Carolyn was too sick to physically come to church, so we would have to bring church to her. She was always so kind to us, and it was always pleasant to see her every Sunday. One day after school, I felt the need to go to Carolyn's house and just boldly and directly ask her if she'd be willing to let us live in one of the rooms in her home. I hadn't seen her in a long time, and to be honest, I was a little scared, but I know God gave me the courage to go knock on her door. As I'm walking to the door, my heart is pounding. I am so nervous of what she's gonna say. I knock on the door, and she kindly lets me in. And at that moment, I'm feeling a lot less nervous. We have a little chit chat about life, about how her health has been declining in the recent years. She talks a lot about her family that lives in Arizona, and she's talking about her counseling practice that she continues to do in her older age. I tell her a little bit about my mission in Argentina, and then I brought up the fact that I was engaged to be married, and she was so excited and happy for me. There was truly a genuine love between Carolyn and myself. We had a special bond that allowed us to be very open with each other. I remember mustering up the courage to ask Carolyn if she would be willing to let us live in her home, and she got very quiet. It was silent for I don't know how long it was. It felt like it was 30 seconds. It could have been less, could have been more, but she got silent. After a break of silence, she looked at me in the eyes and she said that she had been praying and asking God to find someone to live with her in this home because she was scared and she felt like having another person in the home would make her feel protected and secure. And she looked at me and she said, maybe God is answering both our prayers by allowing us to have this conversation right here, right now. And I was taken back so much. I was so surprised with that reaction that she gave me. And I really felt that God's hands were in our lives at that moment. Carolyn said that she would continue to ponder about the whole situation, and I left her home edified. I was just on top of the world, and I knew that God would make it so that our paths would cross again. So after a couple days, Carolyn sat me down, and she felt very strongly that we were supposed to live in her home. And Candace and I were just so excited that she said that, and we felt in our hearts that it was right as well.
So, with Carolyn's approval, we started cleaning out the room we would be living in for the next 3 years. And there was a lot of work to be done. In the middle of preparing our new room, we were also in the middle of planning our wedding. And planning a wedding with your best friend can be a bit distracting.
I know you're doing it, okay? Get back. Schedule. Okay. Business to do.
How's it going over there, buddy? We're doing business right here.
After weeks of cleaning our room, it was finally coming together. But we figured we'd finish the rest after our wedding. Right now, it was time to get married.
Right after we got married, we hopped on a plane and we flew to Playa del Carmen, Mexico for our honeymoon.
Good. Dance for me. George dance.
During that week, we spent most of our time on the beach, by the pool, or eating carne asada tacos. It was the best week ever. I truly can't imagine what our lives would have been like without living at Carolyn's house for the first 3 years of our marriage. Would you ever leave me for a banana? Would you?
Try and get him with this mask.
The time we spent at Carolyn's home were blessed years that I will always be forever grateful. That's unfair. What's wrong with you? Swing! Candace and I are just so grateful for Carolyn, for the person that she is, for the blessing that she's been on our lives. She's an example of kindness, of charity, of selflessness. She's helped us in so many ways. She's helped us save up enough money for the future places that we want to live. She's helped us with our relationship. She's always been there for us, and for that we'll always be grateful for Carolyn, and we'll always love her, and she'll always be in our hearts. Thank you for listening to my story, and be sure to watch part 3. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much. Almost about empty. So we've been taking a lot of things, breaking it down.
Goodbye, room. Goodbye. New chapter heading our way.
But we are potentially at a place that we hope to get.
Hey, guess what?
You got it?
The funny thing is, every time I said I had to go to the bathroom, I really had to go. So I was like, perfect.
Really?
Good? Am I good to go? May I leave the room?